Faculty Coordinator, Ms. Lakshita Sejwal ma'am, and all other respected faculty members. I, Orko Sengupta, Core Coordinator of IIC from second year, would like to welcome you all in today's webinar, which is surely going to be mesmerizing. There are no limits that what you can accomplish, except the limit you place on your own thinking. While pursuing BTech, we all aim for great targets to achieve. We learn, implement, and explore new ideas and projects. But before entering to a corporate life, we all had a hypothetical perception about working structure in a company. So when it comes to solve a real world problem, we simply got stuck at the beginning. So today we have Miss Smriti Sethi ma'am, alumni of our college, who will enlighten us towards the journey from campus to corporate life. But before that, I would like to request our Dean ma'am, Dr. Neha Tyagi ma'am, to express a few words on this occasion.
Neha ma'am, are you there? Okay, I
Hello,
think.
now I'm audible.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, Arko. First of all, I welcome to our speaker, Ms. Smriti, our alumni. And I also welcome our head of the departments, faculty members, and our students from different branches and different years. So I just want to share my views on this career perspective thing from college to corporate when the student is selecting career options. So career needs or the student needs the sea change is required in his or her personality for a person who is going to start a career, basically saying goodbye to the studies. So this transition is an ongoing process in everyone's life that take place at different stages. So this might be from the final years of the college to the early years of higher education or occupational trainings, independent living, or social opportunities. So as per my views, also it can be from the final years of campuses to the early years of one's career. So it's required for the transition. So transition from campus to career needs more attention. So for this attention, as it involves a lot of planning, the objective of the planning must ensure that the person possesses the necessary skills, basically to enable the person to cope up with the corporate culture and climate. I think so everybody is agree with this views. So for an individual starting to work in an organization is a unique and critically important phase that requires a special perspective and strategy to be as successful as a fresher. So research, whatever the research and whatever the experience I have faced in my life, that the success of the transition period will have a major impact on aspects like salary, advancement, jobs, job satisfaction, and ability to have cordial relationships within the organizations as well on one's own feeling of success. So accountability and commitment to the job requires the transition, basically. So campus life and corporate life are fundamentally different. So if one continues to have same expectations from his employer as he or she from the professors in the campus, so one will be highly disappointed. Agree? So and damages the career success as the culture of education. So it is so different from the organizational culture. So we need to bridge the gap. So to bridge the gap, we need these kind of sessions from alumni sets, from experience kind of person. So that's why here is a session. So life in college or university has a structured way, as you people know that what we expect. So be it exams, classes, conferences, etc., you know the outcome of the college life. But in the corporate life, it is the exact opposite. So it is fast paced and you often face deadlines and tight schedules. So no 2 days may be the same. One can learn a lot by involving oneself in hands-on activities within the organization. So in this session, I am handovering to Smriti. In this session, gives an insight into the basic change requirement by the candidate in order to adjust himself or herself to the corporate culture. So this can also use for candidates who are going to attend an interview. So dear students, it's a very good session for you. Now I am handovering to Smriti. Please, Smriti.
Thank you, Neha, ma'am.
Thank you, Peter. Welcome.
So, uh, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Smriti, and I have been working as a systems engineer at Tata Consultancy Services for more than 3 years now. Just after my graduation from KCC ITM, I landed into a TCS. So today, first of all, I would like to thank all the organizers for organizing this thoughtful webinar where I can interact with you all. So I just don't want this webinar to be boring where I am just speaking and you are listening. You all can ask questions, whatever you have in mind. You can stop me in between or you can wait till the end, till I finish and then ask whenever you want, you can. Let's make it an interactive session, not a boring one. So let me first share my screen. So yeah, I have done my BTech in Computer Science and Engineering from KCC ITM. Well, like you all, I was also an engineering aspirant who wants to land up in IITs or other premium institutes. But unfortunately, I couldn't crack IIT. So yeah, but that is okay. It is not always mandatory that if you want to land into a good job or you want to have a good life, you have to do your engineering through IITs or other premium institutes. It is never about the institute. It is about you. It is about how you represent yourself, how you make yourself better as a human being, how you make your skills during your engineering. These are the life skills which no one can teach you. This you have to introspect yourself within yourself. So today I'm going to give you some tips on how you can build your perspective in your respectful stream and some motivation and tips and my life experiences, what I have experienced myself and what I have adopted from my past experiences and my learning all the way in this journey. So let's start the presentation. So yeah, this is my personal profile. I have been born and brought up in Delhi in a nuclear family. I have been working, so my education is, I have graduated in BTech from KCC ITM. And my hobbies include painting and reading. I have been working as a system engineer at TCS for more than 3 years. And the skills and languages which I have developed through the years are I have learned web development in mean stack development. Also, while my graduation at KCC, I have published a research paper on AngularJS versus Angular 2. That was Angular was newly introduced at that time as a front-end technology, and I have made my final year project on that as well. And while my career at TCS, I have been awarded with many awards such as Star of the Quarter, Star of the Month, TCS Soldier Award, etc. for my outstanding performance in TCS. So let's move ahead. Yeah. So this is about, whenever we enter into engineering, we have a lot of questions in our mind. Like, what do we do to make our profile strong? How can we learn more? How can we learn better? So during this period, we need someone to guide us. So it's okay if you don't have someone who can guide you. Here, I'm giving you some extra tips and tricks which you can adopt while you're engineering so that you can have a better and strong profile. See, after every semester, there is a gap of around a month. Use that time, utilize that time to learn a new technology. Enroll yourself in internships, make a career path where you can where you can set your goals that within this time I have to do these much certifications. First of all, before that, plan your path. whether you wish to get into core coding part, whether you wish to go into engineering part, what stream you want to take in future. Introspect that first, and then adjust your life goals and path. You can easily do that. All the resources are available on the internet. You do not have to.
Ma'am, I'm extremely sorry to interrupt, but your screen is not visible.
Just sorry, I'm really sorry.
Thank you, ma'am.
Is it visible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I'm really sorry. So, do you wish to see the other slide, or I can start it from continue from here?
Continue, ma'am.
Continue, ma'am.
Okay.
Continue.
So yeah. So I was saying that first of all, inspect yourself and your career path. Like what career you have to opt as a programmer, as an engineer, or something in management, or you want to change. You don't want any job in your core engineering field. Because why I'm saying this, because most of the students I've seen, after doing engineering, they decide that no, this is not the field for us. This is a very wrongful practice, what I say, because you should always understand your goals before getting into a professional course, right? But it's okay if you decide later that this is not my field or my area of expertise. You can always have other options to explore. But while I have opted for engineering, core engineering jobs, so I'm going to be more informative about that only today. So yeah, while doing your engineering, you should always put some extra effort. How you can do that? Like after every semester, you have a gap of about 1 month or 2 months. During you can utilize that period for taking internships, trainings, or certifications. Even if not that, you can utilize your time in creating mini projects on various technologies. See, the only way of understanding programming is to practice. It is like math. More you practice, more you gain it. It helps your brain to think logically, analytically. It helps you open the parts of brain you don't know about. It really helps you in in various things, not only just landing your job, but also in your logical thinking. It enhances your logical thinking. So the only way to get better at coding is you can create projects. The practical knowledge you should gain from the projects, from the technologies. See all the examples, all the tutorials which are available on the internet, or even if you go to uh, you know um, there are various organizations which teaches which they have these crash courses for internships in Java. They say, like, we have all those courses are designed for a brief introduction of the programming language. No course has this potential to train you as a programmer. That you have to do yourself. You have to understand the basic fundamentals of programming. You should opt one programming language, and you should practice all its libraries, all its functions, everything to the core. See, when I was in engineering, now first 2 years I have no idea what I have to do with my life. Honestly, I have no idea. I was so weak at engineering. So I had a lot of questions in my mind, and honestly, I don't have anybody who could answer that those questions then. But now when I look back, I see myself like, yeah, I could have done this, I could have done that. But it's okay. Whatever I have done now, I'm satisfied with my life. So you also have many questions कि 4 years के बाद job मिलेगा नहीं मिलेगा कैसे होगा, how will what if I screw into the interview, what will I do, what if placements are not good in campus? What can you do? All those questions I'm here to answer today. All you have to do is brush up your skills. You don't want anything else. Like job ऐसा नहीं है कि किसी को नहीं मिलता, सबको मिलता. Some gets the job just after engineering. Some gets after a year. I myself got a job after a year. I got placed in 2018 while I was a 2017 passer. So that is okay. उसके लिए आपको stress लेने की जरूरत नहीं है. You just have to believe in yourself. You just have to look for the right guidance. like what to do, what next steps are required. So if you have any questions in your mind, you can ask me. I'll answer every question. Okay. So let's move on to the next slide. Yeah. So I was telling you, in first 2 years of my engineering life, myself was in a dilemma. Like I have to get into core engineering or not. What I will do. But since third year of engineering, I started taking internships. I landed at an internship in a small startup in Vasantara. That startup does not even exist today. But yes, there I have learned a lot of things, which I worked there for more than 6 months, and I actually learned a lot of things there, like how to build a project from scratch, how to work on multiple stacks. There I was working on PHP and Code Igniter. Code Igniter is again a framework of PHP only. I learned Angular there. So most of the people I have seen that they have an understanding that startups are far better than working at an MNC. So I would like to, just clear this, that this is a myth. It is not like this. A startup has its own advantage and MNC has its own advantage. You cannot compare both of the two, entities on their own. Startup mein, when you work, you have an opportunity to create a project from scratch. So you can understand the fundamentals of a project. But as soon as you move into MNC, you realize that you don't have to build anything from scratch. The code is already written. You have to make changes in its performance, in its enhancement. You have to enhance the code. You have to enhance the performance of the application, of the website. You have to introduce new ideas, how you can make it more better, more efficient. The clock speed of the application, the system should be less, should be more, it should be more, impactful. The UI should be better. There are various things. And if you're working at a service-based company, there you learn like how to write a code in a proper manner, which is, by abiding all the security, risk, everything. What is the standardization of coding? While in a startup, you won't get to know the disciplines of coding. There you cannot learn because you are the developer. In the startup, you are the developer, you are the tester, you are the everything. In MNCs, you actually follow the software development life cycle. There you have to follow each and every step. All right. So yeah, when I was in third year of my engineering, I landed up in a startup where my experience was, it was an average experience. I learned a lot of things there. But then as soon as I moved to TCS, my life just got changed. It was poles apart. The difference was poles apart. So yes, I joined TCS in 2018, March 2018. There for initial 3 months, I went to Trivandrum, Kerala for my training. My training happened, okay. Yeah, my training happened in Kerala. There I have practiced in .NET and C Sharp. That was a TCS offers a classroom-based training. Okay. So yeah, I have joined that, and since then my career was not very smooth. I have some life experiences which I'll share afterwards when I'll come to TCS. Before that, when I was in my final year, I started working on various technologies. I started, practicing coding at my heart, although I do not have any interest in that. But once I started doing that, I have, because obviously at second year, I have two options. Either I can drop out and I can opt for another career, or I can excel in what I have. So I opted the second option, that I will continue what I'm doing right now and I will excel in that only. This I made up my mind. So even my grades were not good in engineering. So I totally tell you that, marks doesn't matter. There was a quote as well that a piece of paper cannot decide my future. But then I should tell you guys that we are born in India. Here it matters. So it is not like even if your grades are too less, you can get interviews, because some MNCs have this criteria that they want first division candidates. At least you have a percentage more than 65%. So at least I will suggest everyone, please be consistent in that. Do not fall, below 65%. This is the least, the first criteria which all job interviews have. If you are not eligible for the interview, you won't get the opportunity. Everything happens after you have appeared for the interview. It depends on you after you have the chance to appear. But if you don't have the chance to appear, you cannot do anything. So this is my first advice to everyone, that please be consistent in that. After that, for interviews, the process which we follow in India, most of the MNCs follow in India are, they have first examination for freshers, that is for general aptitude and coding aptitude. There are two sections of general aptitude, coding aptitude. It is followed by PI and group discussion, GD and PI. Not every organization follow GD and PI rule. PI is everywhere, but PI is not everywhere. So yeah, this is one thing. So for general aptitude, you have a lot of resources available on the internet. And even when I was in KCC in final year, there was a job placement preparation sessions for last 2-3 months. They were very, very effective. If they are still there, it is really good. The booklet they give, it is very helpful in cracking all the general aptitude interviews. So I will advise all of you to go through that thoroughly. Also, we sometimes, not sometimes, almost every one of us study just to get passed into the examination. We just need to, change this thought process. We should study to learn something new, to understand the concept. See, today I understand when I look back that अगर मैंने तब data structures ढंग से पढ़ा होता, आज मुझे problem होगी. Because these are the structuring blocks, basic building blocks of your job, where they are required in day-to-day life. So data structures, fundamentals of programming. If you have excelled in one programming language, now whether it's C, C++, C#, Java, .NET, whatever it is, I am telling you, you can pick up any programming language, because only there is a difference of syntax. Nothing else changes. And the libraries, even syntax are same in most of the languages. But you should know the working, how they work. Even on internet, you will not get exact code, but you have to modify the code according to yourself. So that skill you will gain only after practicing, creating mini projects on that. Mini projects doesn't mean you have to create a website where you can order pizza or something like that. Mini project includes even a small toggle button in CSS. You should practice. You should know. You don't have to Google everything every time you do. This is how you grow your skills. This is how you grow your learning graph. All right. So second and the most important thing in your preparation for job interview is your communication skills and your body language. Your communication skills. See, I am not saying communicate always in English. Communicate in whatever language you feel good. But you should, one thing you should always keep in mind is, whatever language you are speaking, the other person should always understand that. It is not like कि आपका mother tongue Marathi में है and the other person does not know Marathi and you are keep on talking in Marathi. So आप जिसमें भी confident हो, आप जिसमें भी fluent हो, use that language in your interview, and then you can excel it. Your body language, it should be professional. You should be very confident in what you are saying. If you don't know the answer of any question, just simply say no. You don't have to answer each and every question. Be honest. Every interviewer, every employer respects that kind of, confidence. And also, when you are sitting in an interview, you should always create a, good interpersonal relationship with the interviewer. You should not be very awkward, nervous. Make yourself comfortable. Keep yourself calm. Do not stress much. Stress can lead to, even the answers of questions, you will forget them. So keep yourself calm. If you don't know the answer to a question, you don't know. Simple. You don't know. Just tell them you don't know. So while you are in your BTech, you should focus on these 5 to 6 points, and you can definitely get a good job in an MNC or in a startup where you want to get placed. These are some general points. This is not for any particular specific interviews. These are you can use them everywhere. So yeah. So when I graduated from KCC, the placements were quite good that year. I got placed in Protiviti, Meta Design Solutions, HPE, IBM, and Protiviti. But then yes, I accepted the offer from TCS in the end. So yeah, one more life-saving tip is I got placed in an MNC. It is a kind of MNC only, Avalon Group. Okay, so I don't know about that organization yet, but after getting a job offer from them, I was very happy. I was literally very happy that yes, I'll be joining that company. My offer letter, my joining date was after 3 months, and at initial stages, there is a bond with every organization for freshers. Even TCS offers a bond of 1 year. All right. So yeah, that company offered me a bond of 2 years, and everything. I went there. My interview was very easy, very easy. The HR was very polite. All the staff, office was really pretty. Work location was in Vasant Kunj. It is also a very good location. So just before a week, I went through the company's review on Glassdoor. The reviews were really pathetic, were literally really pathetic. And, there was not even a single interview which, I can say it is positive. And I was so disheartened that I have to let this job go because, at the end, I was not ready to, join an organization where I would lose my peace of mind, where there will be no job satisfaction. At the end of the day, this is all we want. This is all matters. Okay. So it is why I'm telling you this because after graduation, students are so desperate to get into the job interview, to get into a company, like we should get placed anywhere. No, you should not be in a hurry. You should always choose a job which suits you, not in your technical profile, not in your resume, but in your personal life. You should always have a work-life balance. All right. So I, denied that opportunity. My parents, they were very disappointed. Even my faculties, they were very disappointed. Why? Only because of some reviews, you just left that opportunity. I was like, I'm not getting the job. I'm not getting the satisfaction. I'm not getting the vibes I want. And honestly, that organization was not the one where you can work. And then I started looking for other organizations. There even I get into Meta Design Solutions. The location wasn't very suitable, and the package was less. Also, they also have a bond of 2 years. So there also I denied the offer. And in Protiviti, it was a very excellent financial firm, which is based in California. Even the job was really, really, really amazing, I tell you. Even the package was good. I was about to join that MNC, but it was in my final year of engineering. My final exams were still, it didn't happen yet. So I asked them if I join your organization, so I'll be, I will be requiring a month leave for my final exams because obviously if I get compartment in final year, I'm not going to have this job because obviously 6 months is of training period. So they denied. They said we cannot give you a month leave, only 10 days. I was like, if I don't, attend the lectures, I don't go to the college. I'll be busy working here. Then how am I going to give the examinations? 10 days are too less for final year engineering grad. So I even left that job offer as well. After that, how I get into TCS was, wait a minute. Yeah, these are some resources where you can practice coding for free. I would suggest you do not go for coaching centers or training institutes. They do not teach anything. These are the basic things. Even these resources can teach you much more things. Okay, so you can go to Stack Overflow. You can people post their questions regarding technical questions there. You can answer those questions. That will help. You can practice those questions. You can practice code chef problems. There are levels of the problems: beginner level, intermediate level, advanced level. You can start from beginners and you can go on increasing your level. These will help you crack technical rounds. Okay, I personally suggest go to these websites. They are really, really good. If you want to pay and learn, you can go to Udemy. Otherwise, all the others are free, of course. So you can learn programming here for your technical interviews and for your personal benefit as well. So yeah, how to land a good job in MNC. Okay, first of all, what I suggest is build your LinkedIn profile. Okay, and make your connections in your field. ऐसा नहीं है कि आप you are a software developer aspirant and you are it is good to connect with other people, diversify yourself, but sometimes you should the connection you are living in, the connection you make, that will help you lead into a better job. See, LinkedIn is not a social networking site. It is a kind of social networking, but a professional networking site more. So there you can build your LinkedIn profile. You can have what do we have, endorsements there on your skills. Whatever skills you are, you should upload. Whatever certificates you have, you can upload there. You can ask for recognition from your faculties, from your colleagues, from your wherever you are interning. If you have opted for any internship, you can ask from the mentors to give you recognitions on LinkedIn, because this is the first thing an employer goes to whenever you are applying for a job. The first thing employer will check is your LinkedIn profile, how active you are there on LinkedIn. All right, so this is your first step. After that, if you are opting for an off-campus placement, if in case you don't get placed into campus placement, you can always opt for off-campus interviews or placements. Then you should interact with your connections. Whatever LinkedIn connections you have, you can interact with them and you can always ask for referrals. Okay, you can, if you wish to join Amazon, suppose, you can connect with the HR, you can connect with the technical staff there, you can connect with the software developers, and you can ask for referrals, that am I fit for the role, if you can refer for this role to me, it will be very helpful. Why I'm telling you this, because whenever you apply on companies and organizations website now, most of the resumes got filtered. They got filtered out because they have some parameters. Like, I know about Adobe. Adobe, what it does now, if you do not have an education from a premium institute now, it filters out your resume, even if you're working in an MNC. Then also it filters out. So to not get into that kind of situation, you can go through LinkedIn. You can ask the referrals, because employee referrals are at the top. Okay. So, and third point, actively update your skills on LinkedIn. You can ask for endorsements from your seniors, from your colleagues, from your faculty members. Since you are in college, you are in engineering right now, not yet a graduate. You can ask from your faculty members. You can ask from your classmates. Okay, and make your resume. There are plenty of templates available on the internet. You can look for them. See, as a fresher, when you are creating your resume, you have to keep some key points in your mind. See, the first mistake what we all do is we put everything in the CV, everything in the resume, everything. It is not required. You know, your resume should be one liner, pointers. It should be informative, but you know, in the least informative way. How you can do that? You know, keep the points short. Use a template which in one page you can put all the information, and it should not look bad. All right. You can yeah. So as a fresher, your resume should not be one page long. It should not be more than a page. Okay. Why I'm telling you this? Because you do not have that much experience yet. Okay. Write about your internship briefly, not in a very lengthy or detailed manner. Okay. Briefly, you have to write everything, your education, your marks, put it down your LinkedIn profile, because that is one thing your employer would search for. Whether you put it there or not, it they will definitely going to search for it. That. Okay. Put your skills in a way, rate yourself that these are my areas of expertise. Since my areas of expertise is Angular and React and Node, so I'll keep it as my area of expertise is Angular, Node.js or React.js. Okay, keep it like that. Plus, also one mistake what we all do is we do not list out our soft skills. Soft skills include your communication skills, your interpersonal relationships, your working as a team member team skills, your interactive skills, your learning growth skills. What else you want? And also, whenever you are sitting in an interview, there are always two questions. Okay, one is your what are your strengths, and second is your what are your weaknesses. Not every person knows the question to this. मतलब मुझे भी खुद को भी अगर मेरे को कोई पूछे ना, I have to think what are these. So I would suggest do not copy an answer from the internet. HR को ऐसे पता लग जाता है कि you have copied this answer. Okay, and तो आंसर क्या होना चाहिए इसका? बेसिकली your weakness and strength should be like that. Your weakness should not look like your weakness, and your strength obviously should look like strength. But weakness ऐसे नहीं होनी चाहिए कि आप उसको मतलब बताओ कि मैं emotionally weak हूँ या कुछ ऐसा. No, it should be related to your work. Like if I say what is my weakness, I would say I cannot multitask. I cannot work under various pressures. But if I say these weaknesses, now I'll get rejected in a while. Why? Because these are the qualities organizations are looking these days. So you have to keep your weakness like I can focus on one thing at a time. See, this is the in other words, I am saying I cannot multitask. But these are the subtle words which I can use, which has two meanings, that I focus on my work only. I'm so keen to my work that I cannot focus on any other thing, right? So this is how you have to quote your answers. You have to be very diplomatic while you are sitting at an interview. ठीक है? उसके बाद display your skills effectively. मतलब you should always display your skills in an effective manner. अगर आपको Java properly नहीं आती है, please do not put it in your resume. Or मतलब I am just giving an example of Java. It could be any programming language or anything else. You should not put it there, or even if you are putting it there, you can within bracket you can write it like I am a beginner in that, or I do not have any practical knowledge in that. Okay, so you can keep it like that, so the interviewer will know that on what basis the interview should move ahead, like what are all questions he or she has to ask from you, like what are your strong parts and what are your weak parts, right? So क्योंकि हम लोग क्या करते हैं after engineering, we put everything in the resume. हमें ये भी आता है, हमें वो भी आता है, हम ये भी कर सकते हैं, हम वो भी कर सकते हैं. I am telling you, even after engineering, even after taking a lot of internships or trainings, you don't know the practical knowledge of most of the things we have been doing after in a job. in an internship, people do not waste their time and resources in training you. Why? Because they do know after 2 3 months you will be leaving the job. So they do not put that much effort on you. But when you land up in a job, they they want to utilize every inch of you, everything. अगर आपका 9 to 5 job है ना, they will extend it to 9 to 9 job in initial years. You have to work really hard. You have to maintain your stress levels, because first 3 years of your initial 3 years of your career are very crucial. There you build your foundation, your career's foundation. Okay, so keep these things in your mind, and if you have any questions, you can ask in between. You can stop me if you want to. All right, so let's move. So yeah, so now my experience at TCS. So yes, I have been offered a lot of jobs in the campus placement interviews, but I couldn't take any of them. After that, I opted for off-campus drive of TCS. See, TCS have 2 drives. They happen at I think 5 or 6 times a year. Okay. First is your campus drive. TCS, go to campuses which are premium colleges. It goes, and there, they have at least 200 students to sit in the interview. That is their first request. Okay. So secondly, you can always opt for TCS off-campus drive. That happens twice a year, I guess. And there you have to appear. You can register it on TCS IN website, and there, you can upload your details and everything, and they will then give you a date of examination. There, the first thing they do is, the first step is to register, and the second step is examination. That examination has 3 parts. First part is your general aptitude, which is very easy, very, very easy. I have mentioned about the booklet, the training which happens at PCC for job placement. I don't know if it happens now or not, but I prepared myself through that booklet only that they have provided in that training session. And most of the interviews I cracked on the basis, all because of that booklet. They have so, good quality of questions, good quality of practice questions. I can, yes, I did that from that only. Also, TCS has an examination for English comprehension. Okay, there they, make you write emails or, essays on some topic where they can check your communication. So make sure your grammar is totally correct. All right. And the last part is your coding aptitude. They do not ask coding questions directly. You don't have to code. You have to just, multiple questions, type questions are there in basic C or in basic Java that you have to prepare. So you can only clear this examination if you have, core knowledge, if your fundamentals are basically clear. You do not need any high-tech knowledge to crack this, or this is not a very difficult interview. It is an average examination which you can easily crack if you have, prepared yourself properly, thoroughly. Okay, after that, if one thing is there in TCS, if you have cracked the written examination, that means you have cracked the whole interview of TCS. Okay, in my this interview happened in GNIT, Greater Noida Institute. There around 3,000 students were present, after cracking this written examination. There were at least 40 panelists. So there is a panel of interviewers. There they have one HR, one database developer, one backend developer, one frontend developer, and one is your UI designer or developer. They, one by one ask questions. Those questions are really basic questions, literally basic questions like, do you know a program of Armstrong number? Do you know a program of palindrome string? How can you reverse this number? How can you print a table of these numbers? These are the basic questions which I think Ravikant Nirala sir have already provided you with. So these are the questions that have been asked, and I am telling you, there were students who couldn't even solve these questions. So I'm telling you again and again, please make your basics very, very, very clear. That will only help you, because as a fresher, employers do not expect much. They do not, obviously they know that you do not have any practical knowledge, and they will definitely put you in 6 months training. There they will train you from the from scratch. Every programming language will be taught to you from scratch with its practical implementation. But for that also, the employer should know ki if you are worth spending so much time, so much energy, so much resources. So you have to prove that only to them in that interview. HR asks you some basic questions like introduce yourself, weaknesses, strengths, hobbies, where do you see yourself in 5 years? These are the basic questions of an interview. ठीक है. TCS का इंटरव्यू मैंने बताया, सेम प्रोसेस, एम्फोसिस एंड एसेंचर फॉलो, सेम प्रोसेस, देयर इज नो डिफरेंस. Okay, so but yeah, TCS has two eligibility criteria for off-campus drive as well. You should not have any active backlog after final year, and your percentage, consolidated percentage or CGPA should be more than CGPA should be more than 7, and percentage should be more than 65%. Only then you are eligible for the written test. Otherwise, you cannot appear for that. Okay. So my experience at TCS was when I got selected, I got the offer. I had my training in Trivandrum. TCS has its training centers all over the world. You can be placed anywhere. There is no rule where you will get placed. You can either get to Trivandrum, you can go to Gujarat, you can be placed in Chennai or in Bangalore, or you can be placed in Japan or China as well. These are the two centers which are outside India. There also they can send you for training. All right. So in training, it was a classroom training program by TCS where where they make you disciplined. They tell you how to work 9 to 5. Okay, how to report to work at 9 a.m. sharp in the morning. How to work, how to balance your work life, everything. TCS during training, you will be kept in a hostel provided by TCS only. Okay, and it is kind of a extended college life only for 3 months. There they have lectures. They train you in certain this programming language and in business communication skills, and you have to give exams after every 1 week. They held up exams. So after, it is not just you have cleared the interview of TCS, so fine, you got a job. No, it's not that. आपका वहाँ पे भी backlog होता है, which is called as remedial. There, आपकी within 1 week there are exams for business communication skills as well. They train you. The people who are not very good in English speaking, they make them fluent there. Written examinations are there, oral examinations are there, presentations are there, and practical examinations are there where you have to make major projects. The one you will create in final year, you have to create that kind of multiple projects in those 3 months on your own. So if you don't pass that training, then you might get laid off. But ऐसा rarely होता है. I've never heard of it. But yes, the rules during training are very strict. If you don't abide by the rules, because अभी कॉलेज में तो क्या होता है, we have uniform, we wear it someday, we don't wear it any day. There you have to wear formals every day. If you don't wear formals, or if you are wearing jeans or anything informal, the guard won't let you inside the campus. They will ask you to go back to your hostel and change your clothes and then come to you. Also, within that 3 months of training, you cannot apply for a leave. You won't get a leave until and unless it is a major medical emergency. Yeah. So these are some. This is how they train you. This is important because TCS can place you anywhere in India, anywhere outside India. You don't know. The location is not decided before. This is not only with TCS, with other MNCs as well. Since it is a service-based this organization, they provide services to most of the major, if you have seen, Tata provides its services to all the government services, such as if you have seen IRCTC, SBI, RBI, all those websites and everything is made by TCS. TCS solely handle that. If you see ICICI Bank, HDFC Life, HDFC Bank, HDFC Bank app, all these are made by TCS only, developed by TCS only. These are the major projects TCS offers inside India, outside India. Even after 2 years in working in TCS, you can get an opportunity to go outside from India and work there as a client side, off-site, which we say. So yeah, after my training, I got placed in ICICI Lombard General Insurance. It is a client of TCS only, where I have worked on the core API designing of in ICICI Lombard. API, I think you all have an idea of what API is. API is basically, I'll be telling you in brief. API is basically application programming interface. It is the kind of interface or mediator between your front end and back end so that they can communicate easily. So I worked as an API designer in ICICI Lombard for 1 year. And then after 1 year, I moved to ICICI Prudential Life Insurance. Now I'm still working there, currently working in ICICI Prudential only through TCS. There I have been working on the core modules of ICICI Prudential Life Insurance, like ICICI Bank app I'm working on, ICICI Prudential main website I'm working on, the core developments I've done there. This is a very, exciting thing about TCS is you get placed in TCS and then you can work for most of the companies there, right? I have been working in ICICI Lombard. I have been working for ICICI Prudential Life Insurance, and the next I can be placed in HDFC as well. And the major, advantage of this thing is you can get the benefits of both the employers, ICICI Bank as well, ICICI Lombard as well, ICICI Prudential as well, and TCS as well, because you are an employee at both the organization at once. All right. So currently I'm working in ICICI Prudential Life Insurance, and my technology stack, which includes basically now I am a team manager here. So what we work on is Angular 6 and 8, the Java core, Angular JS on some modules, Spring Hibernate for database connection, and yes, as a API designer as well. Because as a team manager, now I do not code. I just create the pseudocode algorithms for my team, and they, implement those algorithms to develop the code. So this is my journey at TCS. TCS has taught me so many things. It has made me independent. The day I got placed in, the day after I got placed in TCS Mumbai, okay, there TCS has around 45 offices in Mumbai only, and we can get placed anywhere. It is not mandatory that we will be placed in TCS office. Currently, my sitting is in ICICI Prudential Life Insurance. So in that office, I work. My workstation is there, so you can get placed anywhere. It tells you, you interact with so many other people, diversify yourself. The people are from other regions, other countries, other states as well. You learn, you grow personally. Also at TCS, you have perfect work-life balance. You have to work 9 to 6 for 9 hours only. They are very supportive. Yeah, TCS is quite employee friendly. If you have any, problems, you have family problems, anything, you can contact your HR, you can contact your manager, and they can help you out in anything. Also, you have job security. As we all are aware, it's been 2 years since this pandemic is going on, COVID-19, and TCS has not laid off any of its employees yet. Although TCS has 4 lakh plus employees currently all over the world. Also, it is not mandatory in TCS that you should work on the technology you have been trained into. I have been trained into .NET. I worked in .NET for 1 year. Not exactly in .NET. I worked in Angular mainly. And then I switched to Java in ICICI Prudential Life Insurance. Now I've been working on Node.js as well. Okay, learning growth. For learning, TCS provides a lot of. TCS has its own platform called iVols. There you have so many, almost every course, management courses, technology courses, everything. You can have certifications, and those certifications are very much valuable in your outside world. All right. So those and internal assessments, they keep on going. Internal assessments is what, when you join TCS initially as a fresher, the package is not very good. But TCS provides you, only this is in TCS, TCS provide you plethora of opportunities where you can, just double your package by giving just an examination, same as you gave at the time of your interview. It is the exact same exam. One thing changes is that there are two programming questions of 30 minutes. Even those programming questions are basic. You can give this examination, until 3 years. I have cleared that examination, so I am at a higher level now. You can give that examination only after 6 months of your joining, and you can have a better package, which offers, the package gets increased to more than 10 LPA. So yeah, this is one major advantage of TCS. And also it has internal courses that I've told you. And yeah, while you are at TCS, Udemy and LinkedIn learning courses are free of cost for you. So this is one benefit as well. You can learn anything from them without paying anything. Okay, now Tata Group. Tata Group, you know very well, it is a leading tech giant. TCS is the leading tech giant of India. It is the most, the best company, best organization to work with. Also, this is the second organization of India which has reached $1 lakh billion mark after Reliance in 2018 only, when I joined TCS. So it gives us worldwide recognition. Sorry. Also, when you join TCS or Tata Group, you become a member of Tata Welfare Trust, which has again a lot of benefits. You can get discounts at all the Tata stores. Everywhere you go, you get extra discounts. Tata employee benefits you get. Tata Group is, it is an organization of 4 lakh plus employees. It has offices worldwide. And you can, opt for any office. If you don't want to work in India, you can just connect with your HR and RMG. They can place you at a project outside India with your technology stack. It is not difficult. You can always switch technologies. You can always, even if today I say that I am not willing to continue in technical part, I want to switch to management. They can easily switch me. They can easily get me an opportunity where I can switch myself and management. So it becomes really easily. So this is why it is employee friendly. We always say, you guys also have heard about it. So yeah, this is all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Smriti. This is really wonderful to have you with us. I wish to place on record my heartfelt thanks and appreciation to you. And definitely, if we summarize your talk today, then achieving academic and professional excellence is a kind of a process which is both formal and informal education as well. And indeed, education is a limitless and unending process to enjoy it for a lifetime. And definitely, when keeping this kind of thoughts in our mind, we must be having a lot of questions to get answered, right? So all of the students who wants to have some doubts in their mind or have doubts that needs to be cleared out, just please put on yourself in front of Smriti. She'll definitely helping you out. Anyone?
Yes, please go ahead.
Hello, good afternoon. Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah, you are audible.
Yes, I had a doubt that can you please tell your experience about any successful project of your past or you are currently completing or about to complete?
Yeah, so currently the successful project which I have done is recently we have been, since I've joined ICICI Prudential Life Insurance, the technology stack that we were using there was very old. The versions which we are using for AngularJS, jQuery, and Java were outdated. So recently we have migrated all those technologies to AWS Cloud. You must have heard. First, they were on normal servers, which we have. Now we are moving it on cloud. We have actually moved it on cloud. All the upgradations we have done with, all the technologies we have upgraded. We have upgraded from Angular 1.2 to Angular 8 and jQuery 1.3 to 3.5, JDK from 1.7 to 1.8. So the challenges we come across while migrating, ICICI Prudential website and application is not a very small project. It impacts a lot of other things as well. Their partners as well, all the bank integration we have done. See, since the policies have been, bought not only by the customers but also by the partners such as PolicyBazaar.com and others. There, so we have to, follow all the steps of software development life cycles. We have to train yourself. We have to research in a way that nothing should be impacted. Okay, since as soon as I'll give a small example. Since if I move jQuery 1.3 to 3.5, there is a high chance that there are many functions and many functionalities which won't work in 3.5. Why? Because jQuery, when it upgrades to itself, they defer some of the functions. So the functions which are written in 1.1, they need to be migrated as well. It might that there is a chance that the function is deferred, the syntax has been changed, or jQuery does not support this function at all. So for that, you have to first analyze all the projects, that what all impact it has. You have to, communicate everything to the stakeholder. You have to keep a buffer of yourself, that अगर client बोल रहा है कि मुझे 4 दिन में project चाहिए, आपको timeline 6 दिन का देना पड़ेगा, because you never know कि how much time you will take to create that logic. You have to think, you know, you have to think, create that logic, or there is a high possibility that maybe there is something which you have not analyzed or which have been missed at your end, or there is a miscommunication gap which can happen. So we have done it. We have done the migration recently successfully by working with a team of 150 people at once. So this is my successful project, the recent one.
Thank you.
Hello.
Thank you for sharing.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Ma'am, actually, I have two different questions. I'm asking it simultaneously. Ma'am, first is the person who is working who want to opt in designing like UI UX. So how
Yes.
they can join the big MNCs, like where we should start from?
See, the designing part, you can first, you can build your skills like that. For UI UX designing, there are various courses available online which are free of cost. Okay. And secondly, for even for web development or web designing, three things you need. First is HTML5, CSS3, and third is any HTML library or framework. Okay. I happen to use Bootstrap 4 now. It was earlier it was Bootstrap 3. Now it is Bootstrap 4. You can opt for Figma. You can opt for Material UI. These are some other frameworks you can opt for. And for UI, you have to create your Behance profile. Okay? For designing part, if you are a technical designer, if you are a graphic designer, if you are even a fashion designer, you should have a portfolio to show. So when you create your Behance profile, there you have to put your website designs, or you don't. It is not mandatory that you should design the whole website and put it there. You can design small pages as well. Like you have suppose you have designed a testimonial section, put it there. You have created a new image gallery design, you can put it there. In small parts, small projects, you can keep it there. That will help employer know like what are your skills, what are your major areas. Also for designing, I will suggest you can go through the portfolios which are already there on Behance, and you should know how professional websites look like, how informal look like, how e-commerce look like. If you want to be a website designer, okay, and similarly for applications, mobile applications, you can do the same.
Okay, thanks a lot, ma'am. And the second question was, ma'am, like there's some profiles like SEO and all. They're not well known in India. So if I want to know what's the success rate or what is the opportunity I have to grab, so where I can know it?
SEO, you are asking about search engine optimization, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, these are profile known. Now they are well known. See, since I'm telling you now, while you are in engineering, the guidance is literally low. These things you have to explore yourself. There are plethora of resources available on the internet. What we always do is now, this is human tendency that we go for the courses where we have to pay. We think that they will, give us better services, but that is not right. You have to research yourself. You have to understand your areas where you have to go. For SEO and SEM, there are various resources available. Since I don't know much about it, all I know is Google Analytics is there. You can opt for that. There are quite courses which Google happens to do free of course. You can opt for that, search engine optimization, and the opportunities is really good. You can always, in UI UX designing, see when as a fresher you join, you yourself don't know that I have to get into this field. When I joined TCS, I joined as a core backend developer, but now I'm working as a front-end developer. Okay, and in next year I'll be working as a proper manager. So my coding part will be, limited to that only. Limited to that only. Okay, so after joining an MNC, you explore that is this the kind of work I want to do? Is this what I have to opt forward, or this you can do earlier? So you have to make your resume or your LinkedIn profile or your connections like that. Okay, you have to search for job. LinkedIn jobs is there. You have there's one website called cutshot.io.com. There you can interact directly with the HR. There is no mediator between that. There you can interact with them. You can have a filter of SEO developer or work as a SEO analyst. That you can do easily.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, just last one small thing is left. Like you told about Tata TCS. If we want to, if our target is startup company, so we should go for that TCS exams and all. Then like
Yes.
my target was a kind of target like Amazon, because SEO's main work is to handle the bugs and all on the websites. So the companies, those who are working on their websites and they are big like Amazon and Google. So I was my target company was like these. So
Okay.
what are the steps, or what should I do to target these, like
Hmm.
getting jobs and everything in this?
Okay. So the basic steps remain same. So yeah, I think one point I have missed in the presentation is that there are two types of organization, service-based and product-based. Okay, TCS is the service-based, TCS, Accenture, Infosys, IBM, they are service-based organizations, and Amazon, Google, Microsoft, they are product-based organizations. So if you want to land a job in product-based organization, you have to have a strong fundamentals of programming. Their technical interviews are really, they have at least 8 rounds of technical interviews, and they totally focus on data structures and algorithms. They should be your strongest part. Even if you go for Amazon, the first question they ask is what is knapsack problem, what is Digital's algorithm, what are its implementations. Even the programming questions they will ask, it will be based on that. First you have to figure out what algorithm you have to use, and then you can opt. So for Amazon, for Microsoft, for Google, you have to work on this. Okay. For Google, there is one contest they organize every year, that is Google Code Jam. That is the key to Google. So I believe if you are in first year, second year, third year, you can always. It happens in April every year. Okay, you can go to you can Google it. You can get all the information there. You can register for itself. That is a 24-hour contest. Okay, first it has a qualifier round, then it has an advanced coding round. If you qualify the first round, then you will get into the second round, and in the final round, you go to. It happens worldwide. So wherever it is organized, Google will give you the tickets and everything. It will ask you to be present in that conference. There it will have an interview and you can get into Google easily. Like it is not very easy. It is a very, people take years to get into Google. So, but yes, for that also you should have a great high knowledge of data structures and algorithms. That is the key to get into product-based companies because they have their own algorithm, right? They do not, Google anything. They make everything of their own. So yeah,
Okay, thanks a lot, ma'am.
you're welcome.
Ma'am,
Ma'am, am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Ma'am, does TCS promote research work also?
Yes, TCS has its own section of research and innovation. While training, there they ask you if you have an expertise in something. Like one of my colleagues has an expertise in Android and Xamarin. There, they asked her to give an interview and an examination of that. She cleared that interview. Her training extended to 6 months in Core Research and Innovation Center. So she works in research and innovation centers where they, work in AI, virtual learning, machine learning, and 3D printing and all.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
good afternoon, ma'am. I have a question.
Good afternoon.
Are there jobs related to data science or machine learning in TCS? And if it's so, then what are the minimum basic requirements they expect from us as a fresher?
I didn't get your question. You want to know how the jobs in machine learning are?
No, are there jobs related to machine learning or data science in TCS? And what are they expecting from freshers? Like, what are the basic requirements they're searching in a fresher?
Okay. See, since when you join thesis as a fresher, it is not certain that you will land up in the technology you are asking for. Although they take inputs from you, like they take preferences from you, but it is not always certain that you will land up in those two categories only. Since I don't know .NET and I didn't know Java at that time, but again, I was placed in these two technologies as well. But as a fresher, they train you for every aspect. But after 1 year or 2 years of working, you can always ask for your RMG or HR, or even after 6 months of training, you can connect to your HR and you can ask for them that I want a job in data analytics or in machine learning only. So for that, they do not ask for any examination or anything. They in whatever teachers have clients. See, ICSE is also its client. So wherever there is a requirement of machine learning or AI, they will ask the client to interview you or to test you on your skills. So it happens most of the time that client conducts an interview, or even there are cases where they do not expect anything from you and they take you into the project and then they train you. So anything can happen. So TCS is the only organization where you can switch your technology at any point of time. Even after 10 years, you can switch your technology that I'm not willing to work on this technology anymore. I want to switch my technology. So you can do that. So any prior experience or any prior certification, no, for as I think one of the questions was earlier for research and innovation department. It happens when you have a certification from a premier institute or from like suppose I get placed in .NET and I want to switch to Java. If I have a certificate of OCJP, then they can easily switch me without an examination. But if I don't have the certification, they will conduct their own examination to test my skills. So this is also one thing. So yeah, you can always, there are plenty of certifications conducted through Microsoft, Oracle, even from TCS Pro Cert, where you can, do those certifications. You can get the certification, and you can get placed in any of the MNCs easily.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
So, ma'am, am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
My question is, as we work on various open source platforms like Git and GitHub, so after entering into a corporate life, is it helpful? or is it
It is very much
reduces some of the
helpful.
difficulty?
या द डिफिकल्टी तो बिल्कुल ही खत्म हो जाती है कि एक मुझसे अभी जिसने क्वेश्चन पूछा था फॉर प्रोडक्ट बेस्ड एमएनसी द फर्स्ट थिंग दैट एम्प्लॉयर लुक्स एट योर गिटहब प्रोफाइल. So yes, I request all of you to maintain it properly, create your repositories. Even the smallest project I'm telling you, even if you have created a toggle button in CSS now, just put it there. Because employers, they do not want to waste time in conducting an interview. It takes a whole lot of resources. So they do their research first, and then that is the last step for their end to conduct an interview. So your LinkedIn profile, your GitHub profile, your Behance profile, if you're opting as a designer, it should be up to date, up to mark. मतलब GitHub profile तो it's mandatory for a backend development developer, core backend development. You should know the version control systems. Your, you have repositories, you have everything up to date. Whatever you are creating, just put it there. Small mini projects. Take out the time every week and create. It takes only 2-3 hours to create a project. Yeah, you are in college right now. You have plenty of time. Once you get placed, you won't get time. I'm telling you, literally, you won't get time. Your night, day, everything will end up in office only. So you do it while you are, in your graduation. It will be very, very beneficial to you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Anyone else? Any more questions?
Whatever questions you have, just ask. Don't be shy. Don't be nervous. Just ask. It's okay. You must be having a lot of questions for placements, for college, for your future goals, for your further education. You can ask anything.
Ma'am, I have a question. As you said that you took a 1 year preparation leave for placing before placing in TCS.
Sorry.
But
You're not audible properly.
okay,
Yeah.
am I audible now, ma'am?
Yeah, better.
Yeah. So as you took a 1 year leave for preparing yourself for TCS, so what were your strategies for placement drives or?
No. Actually, I didn't take a leave for preparation since I got graduated in June 2017, and I was already working with a startup. I told you, na. So I worked there till September. After that, I had a job opportunity with Avalon Group. So the joining was after 3 months. So I was just doing that. Pursue to continue with that internship only for 3 months while sitting idle at home, so I can enhance my this thing. So after I declined that offer, I had no clue what to do next. Then from I think Naukri Alerts or somewhere, I got to know about this campus drive. And honestly, when I appeared for that exam, I was pretty sure that I'm not going to get into that. I was like, I roamed the whole world after giving the examination, and then I came home. My father asked me, "How was the exam?" I said, "I'm not going to make it. I know that." And after 2 days, I did that. One of my friends went with me. His exam, he didn't, clear the exam, and I did. After that, the process was really smooth. But once you land into TCS now, the journey is not as smooth as we think. Getting a job is easy, but sustaining the job is difficult. So also you don't need any extra preparation while you are at engineering. You can, practice some 5-10 questions of general aptitude daily and one programming question on CodeChef, Hacker Earth or HackerNet, what all the resources I've mentioned. You can go there and you can practice there. This is all I think. No extra inputs are required. It's just that whatever you are coding, whatever you are doing, you should know what you are doing. There should not be any confusion. If you have written a code, even if you have copied it from Google, you should know what each and every line, what each and every variable in the code is doing. What is the purpose of that code? How it is working? That you should know. That is what matters. Once you get to that stage now, it becomes really easy. Any problem, anything, you can convert it to your programming language.
Okay.
Ma'am, one more question I would like to ask, that does TCS promotes training for undergraduates like us?
Yes, it has its internship programs. You can go to the website, TCS IN. There you can enroll for it. It has internships. It has certifications. You can do it from ProCert, PROCERT. There you can opt for various certifications, and you can get placed in any of the MNCs, not only TCS. The certifications are from TCS, but you can get placed. Those certifications has a value worldwide. So yes, it has internships, it has certification training. One thing, TCS does not support referrals. You always have to go through a process, prescribed process. But yes, TCS gives opportunities to everyone, irrespective of your gender, caste, your education, your institution, irrespective of anything. It gives opportunities to everyone.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Welcome. Any more questions?
Any more questions?
Hello,
Okay.
ma'am.
Yes.
Yes.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
If I started a language to learn yet, so how much time I should take to finish it?
See, it depends on you, how much you practice. I have started Node.js and I ended up, complete mastery in 1 week because I keep on doing it 24 hours. ठीक है? So it, अगर आपको C भी बहुत अच्छे से आता है ना, you just work on it, and if you switch to Node.js, you just have to learn the syntax of Node.js. Okay, it takes hardly 2 or 3 days to learn the syntax. That is all. If you know the basics of programming, fundamentals of programming, you're good at data structures, it is easy to pursue any programming language. But first you have to learn one programming language and all its aspects carefully. All right. So it is totally up to you. You take 1 month, 3 months, 1 year, even people take 2 years to learn a programming language. It is totally up to you how often you practice, how often you use it, how many projects you make it. So it is totally up to you. There is no prescribed time for any programming language.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any more questions?
So I guess this is the end of the session. Thank you, Smriti. Thank you for this thought-provoking and motivational session for all the students and especially our juniors. And definitely we will be getting in touch and we will be connected on LinkedIn as well. And
Yes.
I think this is very well presented presentation I have ever seen from the alumni. Okay, so over to you, Simran. Please carry on.
Thank you so much, ma'am. First of all, on the behalf of everyone, I would like to thank Ms. Smriti Sethi, ma'am, for giving her precious time to us and for solving our doubts and questions so calmly and patiently. It was an interesting, informative, and a worthwhile experience for all of us. Your hard work, determination, and dedication towards your goal and career has motivated us immensely. It was an honor to have you, ma'am, here. Also, I would like to express my gratitude to our Director Sir, B.K. Sarkar Sir, our Academic Dean Dr. Neha Tyagi Ma'am, IIC President Mr. Keshav Sir, and our Faculty Coordinator for this webinar, Mrs. Lakshita Ma'am, Associate Professor, CSE and IT, for providing us this platform where we can interact with our alumni. Lastly, I would like to thank all the participants for joining us and being such a supportive audience. Thank you all so much. Thank you.
You're welcome.